Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Today's day 2 at the Mainnet 2022. Here we are with SOMA.finance. Will meets Will. How are you?
Hey, Will. Always love meeting another Will.
Likewise. So, Will, tell us a little bit about SOMA.finance. What's the story? Most folks, our audience, don't quite know.
Absolutely. So, SOMA.finance, I'm one of the co-founders of. It's actually a joint venture between two different companies. So one is called Mantra, which is another company that I co-founded about 2 years ago, which is a DeFi ecosystem that includes, nodes, a chain, a DAO, and also kind of a financial aspect to it. And then Tritorian Capital, which is a US licensed broker dealer. And that's kind of where the original story of Soma started. I met Jim and Bill, who were the founders of this broker dealer back in 2017. We were launching a centralized exchange that didn't end up really progressing, but what it did was it allowed us to start a conversation with the SEC and FINRA back then, well before people were even thinking about regulation within the crypto space, saying, we have a traditional broker dealer license, but we want to work with securities on blockchain. They go, absolutely not, don't you dare do it, not allowed. Fast forward 2.5 years, we actually developed an additional license on top of our broker dealer to be able to work with, issue, and trade any sort of digital asset on any blockchain and using any sort of reg filing and reg exemptions. So these like Reg CF, which is a US crowdfunding issuance, Reg D, Reg S, Reg A. So we're taking the kind of the DeFi ingenuities that we've seen over the last 2 years, things like DEXs, AMMs, yield and earn products, launchpad and issuances, and putting a KYC AML ring fence around it and making it legal and compliant here in the US. So on the issuance side, there's never been a legal and compliant token issuing to US retail. It's always been illegal. Projects have had to avoid the US, or the SEC would have fined them or shut them down. Through a Reg CF, we can actually do token issuances as a security and to US retail. So that'll be for the first time ever, and that'll actually be the SOMA token offering will be the first one, which will be happening within the next 2 months. On the DEX side, we're taking the kind of the ingenuity of DEXs and AMMs and moving it into multi-asset and fully regulated and secure. So in the past, centralized order books have always been kind of a pain point in the traditional financial system. Order book manipulation, Robinhood selling their order books to Citadel, front running, all this stuff. AMMs take that out because there's no centralized order books. You're just trading amongst the liquidity. So we're allowing it so you can have any sort of asset. So crypto assets like a ETH, USDC, wrapped Bitcoin, but then also public equities. So you can actually trade your ETH against Tesla or your Google against Apple. But all the shares are one-to-one back. So you still get voting rights, you still get dividends, all that stuff, because we're actually licensed to work with these securities. Then some of the other really cool products will be like yield and earn products. So think about like what Celsius and BlockFi were doing, but we're able to do it legally, compliantly, not with artificial earns and yields, using sustainable yield products to be able to power these. And then from there, having kind of peer-to-peer lending borrowing. So this is a first definitely for not just the US, but this is the traditional system as a whole, because you can actually have institutions coming in and using the platform and not worrying about counterparty risk like you would within DeFi pretty much up to date, because you have the KYC AML ring fence. And you have US people that are able to actually participate in these rounds and issue these assets as securities. So, if you're an NFT that wants to give royalties, that's amazing. That's a smart use case, but that's a security. The minute you start giving away any sort of royalties, dividends, we can actually help to do that. So if you're an artist that wants to do an NFT and raise money for your next, project, we can actually help do that. Issue it as a security in the US, and that, NFT can then give royalties, distribution rights, anything like this. So that's kind of what we're building at Soma. But, we're doing a big whitelist campaign right now. We'll start onboarding people onto the platform within the next 2 to 3 months, and then shortly after do our Soma token compliant issuance to the US retail after that.
Wow, well, that's a whirlwind of SOMA.finance. Thanks so much for that overview.
Yep.
I guess just real quick, what do you think about security when it comes to SOMA.finance?
Yep.
Anything come to mind?
So security is crucial across all of these different products, and not even just with SOMA.finance, just the space as a whole. Having and being a licensed and regulated entity, we need to make sure that everything about the platform is completely above board and it's audited and it's, as secure as possible. One of the things with the public equities, we actually need to be able to have pause, mint, burn functionality. So, if someone gets hacked of their Tesla token, we need to be able to then, burn or freeze those Tesla tokens that have been hacked and then reissue them to the person. But any of the products we build, any of the smart contracts we issue, we make sure that we're going and using multiple different security auditors, because ultimately that's the biggest thing, and we don't want more hurdles for people to enter into the space with security because people are, kind of rushing things, cutting corners, and not doing that. So we think it's absolutely crucial to any product, any platform, and you need to at least have, a couple of different audits in order to make it, market ready.
Excellent. I'm so glad to hear that security audit is top of mind for you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that means a lot to the community and to the investors. So how do people find out more about SOMA.finance?
Absolutely.
Get in touch with you.
Yeah, I'm always, happy to talk to anyone. I'm always in our, Telegram chat, on our socials. Our website's SOMA.finance. So the name is the URL, which makes it a bit easier. And then, you can find me pretty much anywhere, reach out, always happy to share more, but we're really excited about what we're building. So whether you're a DeFi user that wants to get into and open their portfolio up to public equities, or a traditional equities holder that wants to get into crypto, we want to welcome you guys. You're an institution that's looking about entering into the space and having a Web3 strategy. We're willing to talk, and just in general, trying to educate more, bring more people into both the DeFi and the TradeFi space, but in a secure, regulated, compliant manner.
Wow, thank you so much for taking your busy schedule to share this SOMA.finance story, and hopefully our audience got a lot out of it. And that's all the time we have for now. Until then, thank you so much.
Perfect. Thanks, Will.
And we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.